Hey, good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to the Today in AZ Facebook Live after show. You get a little behind the scenes there. Look at that. Oh. Everybody loves that you can see all the screens.
You know,
that's where all the magic happens.
It really does. And we want to get some of our production people in on this show, but they have refused because they just cannot stand the thought of sharing all their secrets. But they'll give us a glimpse.
They've also chosen their careers to be behind the camera.
Yeah, to be producers and directors.
Yeah, and a thumbs up. That's 2 thumbs up. I envy people in radio and people behind the scenes just because it just takes so much makeup, you guys.
Yeah.
Concealer is just expensive.
Oh, I got a friend that she went from TV to radio and she loves it.
Best day of her
life. Because there's no
life.
makeup. She just can just talk.
We love TV. We love talking to you guys. Yeah. We love our Facebook Live show. We want you to get in on the comments. Today we're talking about a very interesting topic, and it is, if you live with your boyfriend or girlfriend before you get married, can that help or hurt your chances of staying together long term? So an interesting question. And oh man, here comes the comments already.
Goes.
That's great. I mean, what do you guys think? Let's start with the couch opinions here.
Well, I have done this before.
Okay.
I
was in a long-term relationship for a while, and we moved in together. That's the first person I moved out with when I moved out of my parents' house.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they weren't too happy, but I already graduated college, and you know,
so it wasn't high school or something.
Yeah,
you were
I was
like
already
too young.
A little bit older. So I mean, I think it worked out well because you learn a lot about that person when you live together.
A lot more than when you're not, right?
Yeah. And whether or not you guys are compatible, if you can work together, how you handle difficult situations, how you handle finances. So in my opinion, I think it's a good idea. I mean, we didn't last, obviously, for other reasons.
But it didn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with that. But you just learn a lot more about a person.
Did that tell you a lot? Maybe put some red flags up and, you know, you're like, hey, this ain't, I don't know if this is going to work out. And, you know.
I mean, I've thought about it with other boyfriends, right? Like, could this work out? I'm like, no, I think the financial situation would be weird. Like, they wouldn't handle all the bills in the right way that I would, or, you know, maybe they're messy and they're not as clean.
That's the good point. You find out just how somebody lives. You know, they can clean up the house, scrub the tub before you come over,
yeah.
Or vice versa. I know I found myself like, I'll like sprinkle that carpet freshener so the house like smells good because candles don't work.
You're supposed to bake something. That's the key.
When a man comes over, you should always have someone baking. Cue Alicia Silverstone dropping the roll of cookie dough onto the cookie sheet and then burning it.
That's where we got it from Clueless.
Honey, you baked. And she's like, I tried. That's true. You should have something baking. I've also lived with a boyfriend before getting married. Cohabitated with a boyfriend before getting married. Again, obviously it didn't work out. But it was good because you get to know somebody a little bit better. It's different than just going on maybe a long-term vacation. The bathroom never stays clean. I know Tram and I were talking about this a couple of weeks ago. She said you got to have separate bathrooms. That's the trick to any marriage.
But then what about their bathroom? Then their bathroom's always going to be the messy one?
That's fine.
Or vice versa if the lady's the messy one?
As long as I don't have to see it, I don't care. You know what I mean? Close the door. Yeah. Keep it closed.
Well, on your end, okay, so how does that,
from a
male's perspective.
Yeah, it worked awesome for us. It wasn't even about, you know, I hate to sound too mushy, it just worked. It just worked. It was seamless. There was no, it wasn't about a transition or let me see, but it just worked great. But we also click perfect. Maybe that's why.
Right. You're meant to be together.
I'm not one of these guys. I'm not very metrosexual. I don't have to have that picture. It doesn't have to be exactly that way on the wall.
Okay.
Or we need whatever she wants, she gets.
Well,
she wants me, you know.
Yeah.
Convenient. Do you have any brothers, Jimmy Q? Because, I mean, dang.
Oh, I know, exactly.
But what about prior to her? Did you live with anyone else?
Oh, did I?
Prior to your now wife?
I did, but I was way too young. Way too young. I didn't know who I was.
Okay.
So that didn't work out. Not necessarily because of the cohabitation, but maybe it did say a lot. It said, you know what? I don't want to live with somebody. That's what it told me.
Yeah, that's what it
I'm
told
not
you.
ready to do this right now. And
that you want to be a bachelor for a while?
Yeah, for a good 50 years.
You know what?
I didn't want to say it, but you did.
Well, yeah, and you know what's funny is a lot of friends of mine have moved in with people and they found that it's better because you're able to get a handle on things like finances together. So you're bonding and learning, you know, outside of their character traits, like how you would really coexist if you did decide to finally tie.
It's huge. There are little things that could that could break it. The way you squeeze your toothpaste.
Yeah.
The way,
that's true.
Little things like that.
Right in the middle? I don't understand that.
Kim does that. Kim's a clogger right in the middle.
Like I have to I'll take my brush with the end and just push
get
it
every last drop out.
You know what I do?
And then I cut the top and scrape it out.
Are you serious?
Oh,
I like it.
I am not that
Colgate
person.
We'd be a good match.
Really?
Colgate's
Yes,
expensive.
absolutely.
I'll just squeeze as much as I can out, and then I throw it away.
You know what? That says a lot about a girl, how spendy she is. She's going to blow your money.
No.
Yep, exactly.
I just don't want, it's too much work to cut it open, and I would just go get a fresh
A girl like
tube.
Rachel, I say, you know what? We're going to retire early, honey.
Yeah.
You know what I did?
Travel the world.
That's not even the worst of it. So I cut the top off my facial cleanser, and then I diluted a little bit with water. Now I'm squeezing it out the top.
You know what? Pure respect. Pure respect.
So wait, we have
No,
lots of
you're
people
great.
chiming in
I can't
this
even get on
morning.
it. I
So Sadie Mae says, gotta live together first to make sure you can really stand them. Bobby Joe says, makes you get to know each other. Gail says, absolutely. Anyone can be themselves when you're not around them 24/7. Katina says, it's a great idea. You get to know the other person very well. And she put capital letters and very. It says, Jamie says, I think it helps. My fiance and I right now, we get married on November 17th this year. You learn if you can handle them, how they live, like their cleanliness, their financial situation, etc.
Yeah.
I mean, so far everybody here is pro living together.
We're saying we're getting a lot of good comments. I can't seem to get on it to check those, but so feel free to keep reading them. Is anybody against it? I know that obviously some religions frown upon that. You're not supposed to live together before you get married, and there's nothing wrong with that either. I mean, obviously,
because we slept in separate bedrooms.
Right.
She went to live with me.
Sleeping in.
He's lying. Jennifer said, nope. Look, we do have one that's against it. You can learn as much from dating long term. Dating long term, yeah, that's fine. But living together is a whole nother situation.
Well, it certainly is. I mean, I dated guys long term in like high school and the early years of college, so we didn't live together at that point. And staying in their dorm room doesn't count.
No,
sleeping in a twin bed.
But then it works for
miss those
others.
days.
Mindy said, my husband and I didn't live together before marriage. We've been married for 8 years.
Okay.
Works.
Anybody out there that did live together who's got, 40, 50 years under their belt out there? Because, I mean, or better question, what did you notice when you were living together prior to tying the knot that maybe you didn't like that had you, I don't know about this, but then you went ahead and married anyways? The dirty bathrooms one. You know what I liked living with somebody? There was always breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He cooked all the time, and I don't do that.
That's me. I cook. I love to cook.
Do you?
She cleans.
Oh, that's a good
I
teamwork.
cook, she cleans.
Match made.
Oh, and I get this. It's another weird thing. Actually, I like doing the dishes. So she cleans up, but I like to do the dishes. She puts them away.
You are welcome at my house.
That's really good. Absolutely. We'll cook for you as well. Oh, by the way, another way for the toothpaste, you put it against the door. You run it across the door. That also works. Oh my gosh,
you guys.
Scrape it out of the door.
But if you guys are big spenders and love to throw cash along, there's Vanessa here.
No, I squeeze as much as I can out, but I won't cut it open to try to get the...
And dilute it with water.
If someone...
Then it doesn't even clean your teeth.
If someone's at my house, I will literally have them help me.
I love it. This girl is a catch.
Oh my gosh, you guys, that's so funny.
Listen, I don't know how I got this frugal, but it happened, and
it's beautiful.
But that's the thing. There's different people. So my cousin and her husband, same thing. She's like, I learned that my husband likes to squeeze every little bit out of the toothpaste, and she's like me, where she's like, once I'm done, I just throw it away. You know,
he's all in the garbage. Like,
I think it's awesome.
I won't pull it out of the trash.
I didn't know that much about you, but you're a catch.
Right,
Vanessa,
I'm a catch too.
In her defense, well, I'm going to do the defense. In Vanessa's defense, she is very
very independent, by the way.
You're well made. You've done it all yourself. She's got her own house.
There's nothing wrong
else.
with either one. And we know that there's plenty of viewers out there that are,
Okay, we have tons of comments on this. Mary said, I firmly believe you don't buy a car without a test drive. So yes, live together first. My husband and I did, and we are still going strong after 20 years.
20 years. Okay, we're getting up there now.
Okay, let's see. We got a lot of stuff. Susie said, I lived with my husband for 6 years before we were married. We've been married 20 years as well.
Good.
Tom says, I lived with my wife before getting married and still going strong after 23 years. Let's see. There's tons of people that have been married forever. Good job. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Diana says, been married 49 years and waited until we were married to consummate our marriage. It takes commitment and work. Okay.
Yes, that's great. You know.
You know what my biggest pet peeve. Let's talk pet peeves when you live with somebody. So this is such a weird thing.
If I'm living with Rachel Cole, what's gonna get you going?
They talk about the 6 languages or 5 languages of love. There should be 6.
Yeah.
The 5 languages of love. So you understand your partner and what speaks to them. Sometimes it's gifts. Sometimes it's words of affirmation. Sometimes it's acts of service. Stuff like that. Okay. If I tell you year in and year out that I like when the pillows, said pillow, goes back on the sofa where it was, if you sleep on the sofa, put the pillow back. That says I love you to me. When you put my things in my home back the way that you found them, right? Leave it better than you can. Okay. He didn't get that. He didn't get it, so he's out. But it's not because of just the pillow thing. But it's like you want to respect
a lot about.
That's a little crack in the foundation.
You want to respect people's things and property and understand what says I love you. So if throwing, the bathroom trash out instead of leaving it says I love you to your spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend, pick up on that. Do that.
Jan brings up a good point. She said 40 years ago, no one lived together before they got married. However, they also, I feel, earlier they got married at a younger age.
Sure.
Like at 18, right? I know my parents met when my mom was 17, my dad was 19. So
they were getting married a lot
younger.
So
they got married a lot younger. Nowadays people are waiting longer. Millennials are focusing on their career and other things.
You go back 10 generations, people were getting married at the age of 13. So.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
Yeah, and maybe divorce, maybe not.
People always say, "Oh, back in the day." Well, then back in the day, you only lived 40 years.
Well, that too.
So just FYI, this is our Facebook Live show. This is a fun after show. It's not a news show.
We're not doing hard news here.
So this isn't a hard news, and we're just sharing our opinions. We're getting other people's opinions on the topics that we were talking about, because I know people are chiming in.
A little morality.
A little bit.
Morality. See how you feel about living.
I feel like marriage is a very important topic.
Yeah.
Really
but we're just getting your opinion, so go ahead and share with us your opinion on this topic. We're sharing our own personal experiences.
There's some
Obviously,
angry people
this is just our opinion.
Oh, there's some angry people.
Yeah. So Brittany says, I think so. What if there are habits this person has and it's a deal breaker? That's exactly what you were just talking about.
Yeah. You know what else? I'm a weirdo. Here's another one. Do you guys want TMI? I don't like when you put the dishes in the dishwasher with food on them.
Yep,
the dishwasher is not magical. It doesn't, there's nothing in there.
I don't like to use the dishwasher.
Okay, and I don't either. So I like to clean them all and just have them ready to go, and that's fine. But if you're putting spaghetti-infested bowls into the dishwasher.
If I wasn't with Kim, I'd had flowers at your doorstep. They're amazing. One thing though, I can honestly tell you, it's just, I don't know. Kim gives me this one thing. She gives me affirmation for doing things, which makes me want to do it again.
So words of affirmation.
And it makes me feel like a rock star. I want to do the dishes.
Honey,
I want to clean.
Much.
When I vacuum the house and she comes in, you think I'd have diamonds or something for her. And it makes me feel great, and it makes me want to do it again.
That is true.
And that's something great that you can learn when you do live together before you get married.
Versus the comment of some I've had before, people are like, well, you should be doing it anyway.
Right, which
you
is
should be contributing.
No,
that's
in a relationship, the expectations should not be through the roof on, hey, you should be taking care of the household. Hey, you should be doing this. You should also be buying me gifts and telling me I'm pretty. And no, you got to just start small.
But it's nice, just
start low.
Hearing that.
We have tons of people. I mean, everybody pretty much has the same thing. Yeah. So Sarah said, I was brought up that you did not live together until you get married. She goes, now people live together without getting married. I guess it just depends on the generation.
Sure.
I've been married for 26 years to the same man. Aww.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Sin says, my husband and I lived together for 12 years before we got married.
Wow.
Okay. Worked for them.
That's great.
Let's see.
I wonder how many couples regret saying, we should have gotten married, way earlier.
I love this. Lynn says, go camping for 1 week. That should tell you a lot.
Hey,
that is so true.
That's
Do you know what I learned is if you want to get to know somebody, go travel to some destination that's very difficult to get to and bring and come back.
Yeah,
that will test
traveling
your relationship.
is a good one. Oh man.
And not about putting your stuff. I'm talking about getting from point A to point B.
You really learn a lot about a person when you travel with them.
Yeah.
Even friendships. I have broken a friendship because one girlfriend was so
I've heard about it.
I know what you're going to say. I already know it.
Anal about everything and wanted to control the whole situation.
And
it was
I've heard this story.
And we're we're on vacation. This is.
We're going to go here. We're going to do that.
Yeah.
And then other people move too slow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, we're wasting the whole day. It's 10 o'clock. What the heck? I was in LA. I was screaming at my friends.
Yeah.
How hard is it to get out, to go to the dang beach? Just get out. What is taking you people
so really
long?
learn a lot about a person.
Wasting my life here.
I love you guys.
Vacations, living together. I mean, sharing bills, finances.
Oh yeah. Well, that was
Money's
another thing.
huge.
So let me ask this question to
cover
those
the rent
people.
this month?
Yeah. So let me ask that. So when you live together,
That's tough.
and you're not married yet, do you split the finances? Is it like a roommate situation, or do you expect the significant other to pay most of the bills?
I know
how does
people that
work?
have broken up over this because they move in together and somebody expects the other person to pay way more.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, you already were paying your rent, so
Yeah.
you should just pay for me to live. No, we split.
Or half of the mortgage.
When we lived together, we split the bills. Now, there was a circumstance where I said, hey, if you want the thermostat, which we've talked about before, if you want to keep it cold in here, you're welcome to pay the majority of the electric bill, but I leave it at 80 or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't need to, you know, so that was like lenient, but what are you going to argue about? $15?
It's all different. Like,
Okay.
like when Kim came in, I could care less. She paid. I said just whatever. It wasn't like for me, but it depends on your financial situation.
Right.
I know.
And
one
where
of
you
her
want to
friends,
live and how
she
you
had her
want
own
to live.
house and she had a mortgage that she was paying. And when he moved in, she says, "Well, you're going to pay half the mortgage." So,
It's interesting.
but that's how you know.
With that question, Elizabeth said yes, split finances.
Split.
Donna said split finances as well. Because you always wonder about that, right? Like, and then I've also heard people are like, well, that's your house, that's your mortgage, so you take care of most of it.
I have
and I'll
heard
just
Exactly.
pitch in, you
I have
know?
heard that
Exactly.
too, where
I
you know,
didn't
the woman
feel
will
like-
move in and say, well, I thought you were going to take care of me, and it's like, well,
I'm not going to pay for
what
half
are you
your
gonna
house
take
that
care
I
of?
get
You're just gonna
nothing
pocket every
for.
dime you make?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Because everything
That'd be a
changes up,
partnership.
right? Like even grocery shopping.
that's
That's
another one.
another
Okay.
topic that we could go on about. Like, you obviously change your grocery shopping habits. So, do you go
That's a
together
tough
and you
spot.
split the bills, or does one person buy all the groceries, even though now you have to buy a lot more groceries, right? And then the other person pays the cable? Like, is that how it works?
Again, cable, something I can live without. So if you want it, you can foot the bill. I don't need the internet.
She has a
I don't
lot
need the
to say
internet.
on
I don't
this.
need cable. But
we
I
are
would.
twins.
Sorry, but
We are twins.
I would go to the grocery store and get stuff that we would like to eat, or if I was going to make dinner. But then it's like you're falling asleep on the couch, eating all the food in the middle of the night, messing up the pillows. I can't do it. I think I just need to live alone for a lot longer than I already have.
No,
Oh my
I
God.
think there's a guy out there. There's guys out there.
I love this. Okay,
You're
so
pretty awesome.
someone wrote, is trying on shoes before buying a good idea? Like, so it's the same thing.
Yeah, same
you know?
concept.
Yeah, same concept. So Maria said, my husband and I split. It was his choice. I wasn't expecting him to pay.
Right.
So it was his, you know,
Good.
saying that it's okay.
These are good comments.
Yeah, so because I always wonder about that. Like, how do you do that now? I know back then, you know, or what if one person makes more money than the other person?
Well, okay, so then that's a good question too.
I don't like
But
that
just
either.
because you make more money
Yep.
and you've done things in life a little bit differently, should you be the one who has to care and provide for the other who maybe hasn't? Like,
Right.
I know a girl that
know.
got dumped for that. Now she was moving in with this guy, and she's like, "Well, hey, you're a dentist. You make all this money. You're going to pay the majority," and he bailed.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, "See ya. I'm out of here. I'm not doing
what if
this."
it's not teamwork then?
No,
if
she's
you're
just
expecting
kind of being
them?
greedy. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm not moving into your place to take care of all your bills. She says, well, you should. You make way more money. I
well,
don't-
and what does that tell you about the way the rest of your life is going to go?
Thank you.
I mean,
Thank you.
come
Exactly.
on. I
Finance,
think that
money's huge in relationships.
I think if you're going to get into a relationship that is serious enough to a point where you want to move in with your significant other, you both should be bringing something to the table that is beneficial for you as a couple. And if you can't, then you probably have no business living together.
I agree. Preach on, sister.
We have lots of, you know, this is
Preaching to the
Charlotte
choir
said.
here.
Charlotte said
few
for
minutes
some, moving in may help them deepen their bond and work on their communication and teamwork. So that's where I think a lot of people on here are pro moving in together because you learn a lot more about a person and whether you can work together as a team. And so from Facebook, everybody says you should split your finances if you move in together. I'm learning a lot here.
This is good information. Good advice, good comments, great
Yeah,
topic.
great topic. I mean, we have a lot of people still chiming in. We didn't even get to the rest of the show.
No way. This is
for you tomorrow.
Let's do it. This is great.
Yeah, and you know what?
This could go on for another 2 hours.
We could keep this going, but we appreciate everybody's comments.
Good topic. Thank you, guys.
Yes.
And you know what? We'll cut and paste some of the stuff from Today in AZ a little bit later on our social media channels, so you can look for that. Bernie Sanders in town tomorrow. That's what you can look forward to tomorrow on Today in AZ. We'll see you guys later.
Thanks for all your comments.
Yes.
We appreciate it. Thanks for chiming in.
It's the record show.